Guess who's back? Back again. Now, I told you guys, conversations, phone calls, John Elkann is making moves, and he's trying to repair the damage that Carlos Tavares has caused. Tim Kuniskis is back. Again. One thing that I don't have right now, stress. I'm excited. I don't know if you saw the news, but it broke this morning about 3 hours ago that Tim Kuniskis is back as Ram CEO. Now, don't get your panties in a wad. Hey, he needs to run the whole company. He needs to be in charge to take this thing back to where it was. Hold on. For Tim Kuniskis to basically leave a situation that was amazingly great to come back to Ram, that's not the only reason why. And we're going to talk about that here. We're going to drop the stories and stuff up here while we're talking. But, yeah, Tim Kuniskis is back as Ram CEO. Now, Tim Kuniskis retired back in June. Has come back less than a week. Like I told you, I believe it was the day after Tavares resigned, got fired, whatever, that phone calls or conversations had happened between Tim Kuniskis and John Elkann at Stellantis. And I told you just, 2 days ago that a second phone call happened, and I'm guessing that's where he agreed to take this position. Now, I know you're going to ask, well, then who becomes the main CEO of Stellantis? We're going to get into that. But I think Tim Kuniskis takes this position for one reason only. He's back in the house. Ram is one of the best-selling products for Stellantis. You know, Kuniskis retired because Tavares would not even consider working with anything with V8s, even though they already had like a dual overhead cam engine in development, and they had other carbon-saving measures to have more efficient V8 engines. They did not want to hear it. They and that Carlos Tavares and his two little executive cronies, that his little assistants, didn't want to hear it. Now, part of this is on the board of directors because they let Tavares run roughshod for so long, and you did lose people. But my next question is, how long is it until Jim Morrison comes back? Because what I think is probably going to end up happening, and we've already talked about this before, I've already talked about the internal communications that are going on at Stellantis now, is they still have a problem with EU emissions. Unless the ACEA is able to lobby Germany and some of the bigger European countries to roll this back, Stellantis still has to deal with that with vehicles that they sell here in the United States. And the only way to get around that is similar to like what's going on with Ferrari. It's split off. It's owned by the same people, same board of directors, just its own thing. I think we could very well see that in very short order with Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. And now that Tim Kuniskis is in the house, I can see Tim Kuniskis taking over Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Matt LeClaire is not going anywhere. at CEO of Dodge. It would be interesting to see if Jim Morrison comes back to Jeep. Oh, but what about Antonio? He's the CEO of Jeep. Funny you should ask that. I think in that case, if they do split Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram off, I think Tim Kuniskis runs that company with autonomy. And I think Stellantis as a brand itself, with the other 10 brands, would then, be run by Antonio Filosa. I'm probably saying it wrong. And that is the most likely avenue for this to happen. But I know you're going to say, well, TK, I'm upset. Mopar Jesus is only at Ram. Listen, this isn't the first time he's only been at Ram. Look, I'm very sure that Tim and Matt will be able to work together to get this ball rolling. Do not be surprised when you see a dual presentation of possibly Hellcat engines coming back to Ram and coming back to Dodge. It does not surprise me in the least. This is literally some of the most positive information, if you're a Mopar fan, that you could get today. I mean, I haven't even checked yet. I want to check the stock and see. Yep. Stock's going up. So it was, I will say this. At the time of the reporting, when they announced Tim Kuniskis coming back as CEO of Ram, the stock went over $14. It has gone back down. It's at $13.73 now, so it's lost a little bit, but it's still up about 0.5% on the day. Now, when Tavares did quit, got fired, resigned, whatever you want to call it, the stock, people expected it to immediately go up, and it actually went down. But over the last week, the stock has perpetually done this. It's gone back up. It went down from where it almost touched $11 to where it's at now at $13.73. So definitely in a positive direction. But I digress. What do you think about Tim Kuniskis coming back to the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram fold? I told you so. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And stay petty, my friends.